Hey everybody, welcome back to Brainiac Baseball's 1981 Detroit Tigers season replay. Today's matchup is between the Boston Red Sox and the Detroit Tigers at Tiger Stadium. On the mound for the Red Sox is Bruce Hurst, whose record is 1-3 with a 3.95 ERA. And pitching for the Tigers today is Jack Morris, whose record is 3-2 with a 4.89 ERA. And so, gosh, we are just in a tailspin right now as we fall to 500 after our loss yesterday to the Red Sox in the first game of the series. The Sox put up 6 early on against Bruce Robbins, and then in the 8th inning, we put a 5 spot on the board, but we could not get it tied up, and we took a loss. So we are really struggling right now as we head into the second game of the series. So if you've been paying attention these last 4 or 5 games, you'll know that the Minnesota Twins have made a trade every day for the last 5 days, I believe. So I thought it'd be fun for me to show you their roster because we're not going to play them again. But almost everybody on this team in the starting, the starting 9 here, the lineup, they've actually changed it over pretty considerably. I just want to give it a rundown. As you can even see the stats here. Like there's nobody who's scoring, runs and RBIs. So, Mike Fischlin, got him from Houston. He's at short. Dave Bergman they got from Houston. He's at first. Dave Engel has been their backup catcher, the Twins, but he's getting everyday play. Here's Gary Renicky, who was traded over from Baltimore. Jim Morrison came over from Houston. Mike Anderson came over from Philadelphia. John Castino, he's a everyday Twin. Mark Corey just came over from Baltimore. And Willie Norwood, who was a backup on their team and now maybe has moved into the everyday starting role there. And then Rich Dower, Siebert, Hoskin Powell, and Alexander, Dave McAmer. So these are all players that are in their on their major league roster, and they've basically turned over their whole roster for hitters. And for pitchers, just to show, they've moved in Dennis Burt because they made a trade. So he came up from AAA. Steve Stone, they got from Baltimore, just moved him into the 5 spot. And John Martin came over from St. Louis. So, and Frank LaCourte did as well. So yeah, a lot of different Minnesota Twins, which is, I don't know, it's kind of funny. I mean, I don't really mind it. I suppose it's not completely unrealistic. Like, for example, the Seattle Mariners, over the past 3 or 4 seasons, I mean, they were turning players around almost as quickly as they could get them. So I guess it's not completely unusual, but I thought it'd be kind of fun to point that out since we're not going to see them again. Uger will not be available. He pitched 3 innings yesterday in relief of Bruce Robbins, who was terrible and very disappointing. We got Jack on the mound today, and Bruce Hurst is a lefty. We just faced him because we need to give some of these lefties in our lineup a rest, ones who really struggle versus left-handers. We have Mark Wagner at short. I moved Trammell over to first. And we got Dave Stegman back in the lineup for the first time since getting called back up. So that is what we're going to be dealing with today. Let's go ahead and do the lineup rundown. For the Red Sox, looks like they have at least one new player in the lineup, and that is the leadoff batter, Ed Jurak, playing shortstop and leading off. Batting second is Wade Boggs at third. Batting third and in left field is Jim Rice. Batting cleanup and catching is Gary Allenson. Batting fifth and in center field is Fred Lynn. Batting sixth at first base is Dave Stapleton. Batting seventh in right field is Ivan Calderon. Batting 8th and DHing is Lachelle Tarver. And batting 9th at second base is Marty Barrett. And Jack Morris, what can we say? He's up and down this season. Pitched really poorly in his previous start, which was against Boston 5 days ago. He went 6 1/3. He gave up 6 earned runs, 7 runs overall, 8 hits. In the start before that, he got his 3rd win against Toronto. In fact, he had a string of 3 decent performances, so I have no idea what to expect from him today, but we're going to go ahead and get this game started. Take a look at the Detroit defensive alignment. And here is Ed Jurak. First time we're seeing him this season, leading off. And a base hit up the middle. So runner on first for Wade Boggs, 3 for 11 against Morris, and batting .321 overall. Ground ball to third. That's Brookins at third today. And they can't go around the horn. They just get Boggs at first. So 1 down. Runner at second for Jim Rice. Ground ball right to Whitaker. And they throw him out. So there's 2 down. And here's Gary Allenson, who just was unstoppable yesterday, offensively and defensively, as he gets a base hit and Jurak scores. So it's 1-0 Boston here in the first. Runner on first base. 2 down for Freddie Lynn, and Morris walks Lynn. Up to 22 pitches this inning as Dave Stapleton steps in, and he walks Stapleton. So, okay, bases loaded. Ivan Calderon. He does have a home run against Detroit this year, but 1 for 3 against Morris. Ground ball to Whitaker, and that ends the inning. So we limit the damage to 1 run. Not a great start to the game for Morris. But we head to the bottom of the first. Here is the lineup for the Tigers today. Leading off and in center field is Ricky Henderson. Batting second at first base is Alan Trammell. Batting third and in left field is Steve Kemp. Batting cleanup and catching is Lance Parrish. Batting fifth in right field is Barry Bunnell. Batting sixth and DHing is Dave Stegman. Batting seventh at second base is Sweet Lou Whitaker. Batting eighth at third base is Tommy Brookins. And batting ninth at shortstop is Mark Wagner. And here's Bruce Hurst, the lefty. We faced him just a few days ago. Same day, yeah, he played against Morris. We took it to him that day, 3 2/3 innings. Gave up 8 runs, 3 earned. So I guess there was a lot of errors that game. He did give up 8 hits, 3 home runs he gave up, and 2 walks. So, man, let's take it to him. We need a big offensive day. As you take a look here at the Boston defensive lineup. And here's Ricky leading off. And he rips it right at Boggs at third. That was a scorcher. Looks like he threw a fastball and 2 forkballs. I don't remember what a forkball is anymore. I don't think anyone refers to that pitch as a forkball. And Trammell does the exact same thing by lining out to third. So 2 hard hit balls as Steve Kemp is up with 2 down. Batting .273 versus lefties. There we go, base hit for Kemp. The most gentle hit of the 3 so far. So runner on first, here is Lance Parrish, 2 for 6 with a home run against Hurst. And Parrish walks. So first and second, 2 down. Here is Barry Bunnell, batting .262 versus lefties, and he also walks. So Boston in a tough spot. And here's Dave Stegman, one of my favorite players, coming back from the minor leagues. He does hit lefties well, as he hits a ground ball right to short, and Jurak makes the play. So can't capitalize either. We go to the top of the second. Lachelle Tarver leading off, batting .571 versus lefties. That's obviously in only 9 at-bats. He shoots it to left. He's got himself another hit, a double, in fact. And so runner on second. Here is Marty Barrett. Going to pull the outfield in. I don't think it'll make much of a difference. There's the third walk for Morris. So first and second, back to the top of the lineup with Ed Jurek, and Jurek strikes out. There's one down. Gets tougher here, though, with Wade Boggs. First and second, and Boggs is going to strike out looking. You don't see that very often. So 2 down for Hall of Famer Jim Rice. He does have a home run against Morris. And he's going to flip it into right center field, caught by Bunnell for the third out. So another jam that we dig ourselves out of. And then we go to the bottom of the second. Still 1-0. Here's Sweet Lou leading off against Hurst. He's going to drop it into left center field. Oh, it's caught by the left fielder. That was a nice play by Rice, because I thought for sure that was going to fall in. So 1 down. Here's Tommy Brookins, batting .188. Hey, oh no, that's another hit taken away. I feel like we've come so close to really opening this game up, but the Red Sox defense has taken it to us. And then there's Mark Wagner, number 9 hitter. Finally, someone could drop a base hit in. And no, we're not going to go for 2, as we'll leave Wagner with that base hit right at first base. He's got decent speed, a little bit above average, but with Allenson throwing out Ricky yesterday, I don't think we really need to go there. Hey, there walks Henderson. So first and second, 3 walks for Bruce Hurst. We need a clutch hit. Here's Trammell. Trammell's got 2 home runs against Hurst. He's going to pop it up just to the right of second base, and that is the third out. So we go to the top of the third. Gary Allenson leading off. Ground ball to short. And Wagner makes the play. There's 1 down. Next up is Freddie Lynn. Lynn hits a ground ball to short. And Wagner makes that play as well. So 2 ground balls taken care of by Wagner in this inning. And then Stapleton goes the other way for a base hit just past Trammell at first. So runner on first base for Ivan Calderon. It's 4 hits now for Boston. And Calderon hits a ground ball right back to Morris, and Morris boots it. So first and second, Morris is at 66 pitches. I mean, he can go about 120. So that's not really the problem. The problem is really get past the 5th. So Morris gets himself out of another tough spot. We go to the bottom of the third. Steve Kemp leading off. Hey, he's 2 for 2 against the lefty. So he's setting up Parrish here with a chance to maybe get a rally going. We're going to hit and run, try to stay out of the double play. Ground ball to third. And an error by Boggs. So first and second, and nobody out for Barry Bunnell. We're going to let Bunnell swing away. Ground ball to second. And, they did not turn 2. They just get Parrish at second base. And now we have a chance here for Stegman to get us all tied up. We'll take a wild pitch. That scores the Tigers' first run of the game, moving Bunnell into position. We're going to let Dave Stegman swing away, and he's going to shoot it to right field. Calderon makes the catch, and we're going to tag up. And Bunnell is safe at third. So Bunnell stands on third base. with 2 down. Here is Sweet Lou Whitaker. And Whitaker strikes out on an inside pitch. I mean, really inside, not even in the strike zone. So we go to the top of the 4th. It's all tied up. Marty Barrett batting 9th today. He's been the leadoff hitter in every game we've played so far. And Barrett pops it up to first. Trammell makes the play. 1 down. Back to the top of the lineup with Ed Jurek. And he's going to sky one into foul ground on the third base side. There's the second out. So 2 down for Wade Boggs. Can we get a 1-2-3 inning? Maybe. Okay, there we go. Caught by Henderson. And that's the first 1-2-3 inning for Morris. He needed that desperately after scoring, the Tigers scored that run. So bottom of the 4th, and we have Tommy Brookins leading off. He is now 0 for 7 against Bruce Hurst. 1 down. It's going to bring up Mark Wagner. He got a base hit first time around. And he pops it up just to the right of second. And that's going to be caught by the second baseman, Barrett. So 2 down, going to leave it up to Ricky. And another walk, and you know we have to steal now. Everybody knows it. And it's against a lefty. And Ellenson threw him out yesterday. And he steals second base this time. That's 22 stolen bases for Henderson. All right, come on, Tram. We needed some clutch hitting. Oh, there we go. Trammell's 6th home run. He jacks it into the left center field bleachers, and it is 3-1. All right, so still two outs, and Kemp, who's 2 for 2 on the day. And he pops it up on the infield. And that's caught by the shortstop, Jurek. And we go to the top of the 5th. Morris hanging in there as the Tigers put up a couple more runs. So it's 3-1. And Jim Rice leads off the inning. He pops it up right along the first base path. And if you saw that play yesterday in real life where Hunter Dozier and Jose Abreu of the White Sox ran into each other right on the base pass. It was so bizarre. I can't understand how it even could have happened, but it did happen, just like Gary Allenson hitting that home run into left center field. He is like my least favorite player because it's absurd how good he is against us. It makes no sense. Morris comes back, strikes out. Fred Lynn. It's 4 Ks for Morris. So 2 down. Dave Stapleton up next. Stapleton ground ball to first. And they put a run on the board. They get one of those runs back. We go to the bottom of the 5th. 3-2 Detroit. Lance Parrish will lead it off. And he strikes out swinging. 1 down. Next up is Barry Bunnell. And he strikes out. So back-to-back Ks for Hurst. 3 Ks now. And then he walks Stegman. Now Stegman's got some speed as well. And we do have a lefty up at the plate. So let's try to steal second base. This one, I don't know how it's going to go. Oh, man. Yeah. I always feel like when the pitch is up, or if it's a pitch out, there's a good chance that the run is going to be tossed out. And so Stegman was caught stealing second. We go to the top of the 6th, up by a run. We're going to flip it over to the in-game stats. And Trammell does have the home run that gave us the lead. Kemp is 2 for 3. And everybody in the middle lineup has done jack shit. So Ivan Calderon will lead off the 6th inning with a ground ball to Brookins. Brookins throws him out. I wonder if Tommy's fielding percentage is over 900 yet. No, it's not. It's at 897. That is really bad. Okay, so 1 down. Here's Lachelle Tarver. Tarver hits a ground ball to Brookins. And Brookins makes the play. So 2 down. Here's Marty Barrett, hitless against Morris in his career until now. I gotta stop doing that. I'm like the biggest jinx announcer of all time. Okay, so Barrett's on first. Ed Jurek is up at the plate with 2 down. And another base hit to center. So, 3-2. Wade Boggs is up. He's a lefty. I'm not going to pull out Morris because Boggs hits lefties and righties pretty equally. I mean, which is to say well as base hit. So this is all a 2-out rally as Boston ties it up. Morris closing in on 100 pitches and another base hit. Man, this team is so bad. We just cannot get a break. Another RBI single. And then Gary Allenson gets another hit. So, I mean, this is total bullshit. I mean, there's really nothing I can do. It's so frustrating. We're going to take out Morris and bring in Comstock, who's a lefty, to face Lynn, who's under 100 batting average versus lefties this year, which doesn't mean anything when you walk them. So we're going to bring in Tobic, bases loaded with Dave Stapleton on the verge of having the game blown open. And Stapleton flies out to right. So we relinquish the lead, giving up 3 runs, all on a 2-out rally. And we're down by 2 runs with only 4 hits. That is 4 Ks now for Hurst. And again, I want to point out that just as soon as he was caught stealing, Stegman, they came back and scored 3 runs. Like, I feel like there's some kind of like stupid momentum thing built into the game that if you make a bad call, the game automatically switches gears, and it's just not like that in real life. So it's very unrealistic. Henderson walks for the 3rd time today, I believe. So it's first and second for Trammell. He does have 3 home runs against Hurst, including the one in the 4th inning. We need another big hit from him. There we go. It's going to be hit to left center field. It's cut off, but 2 runs scored, and the game is tied. A great job by Trammell. He's got 4 RBIs now, right? It just says the home run there, but he does have 4 ribeyes and a chance for Kemp to give us the lead. Nope. Hurst over 100 pitches now, but not tired. We go to the top of the 7th, all tied at 5, and as I always say, it's never good to let the pitcher come back out to start the next inning. But we don't really have much else we can do. And Tobic has been bringing his horrible ERA down. So 1 down, here's Lachelle Tarver. Tarver 1 for 3 on the day. Hits a ground ball right at Brookins, and another play for Brookins. All right, so maybe he's turning his defensive season around. At least since he's not hitting, making himself valuable in some way to the team. And that's going to be it for Hurst. He's going to get a no decision today as Bill Campbell is coming in. I don't think this is Bill Soup Campbell. I think it was the other infielder that played for Detroit that was Soup Campbell. But anyway, 8 games. This is the 8th game. 4-0 in relief. A 1.26 ERA and 11 Ks in 14 innings pitched. That's pretty impressive. Opponents are only batting 189 against him, and he's got a save. Parrish will be the first batter he faces, and Parrish is really struggling versus righties, batting only 193 as he pops out to Jurek. So 1 down, Barry Bunnell. another batter that doesn't really normally hit against righties. He grounds out to short. And that's going to bring up Dave Stegman, 0 for 2 with a walk in his first game back. And he hits it right back to Campbell. And Campbell tosses him out at first. So we go to the top of the 8th. I'm not going to push it with Tobic. We are going to bring in Roger Weaver, our only righty left in the bullpen. And he's going to start off by facing Ed Jurek, leadoff hitter, 2 for 4 today. And Weaver strikes him out. So 1 down. We're going to guard the lines against Wade Boggs. In case he drops it in there, try to keep it to a minimum. There's a base hit. We'll be satisfied with just a hit from Boggs. So Boggs on first base, 1 down. Here's Jimmy Rice. 0 for 4 against Weaver. Ground ball to second. And they turn 2. So fantastic. That worked out as good as it could have. We go to the bottom of the 8th. They're keeping Campbell in there with Sweet Lou leading off. Oh, man, he strikes out. First K for Campbell. 1 down for Tommy Brookins. Brookins does hit righties a little bit better than lefties. Well, actually a lot better, but regardless, he grounds out to first. So 2 down for Mark Wagner. Wagner walks. He's having himself a nice game with a base hit and a walk. So runner on first, and we got to let Ricky swing away. And a base hit into center field. 6 hits for Detroit. Henderson has his first hit of the day. So first and second, 2 down. Another 2-out rally possibly here. Trammell knocking 4 runs so far. Ground ball to second. And that'll end the inning as we go to the 9th, all tied at 5. And this guy, Gary Allenson, man, he is a pain in the ass as he walks. And now we're going to find ourselves in real trouble. Runner on first. Fred Lynn only batting .229 versus righties. Steps in and hits a fly ball to right field. That should be caught. It is. Bunnell makes the play. So we get past the lefty in the lineup. Dave Stapleton up next. And Stapleton pops it up on the infield. And Thompson will make the play for the second out. He's going to leave it up to Ivan Calderon. I think we mentioned this a couple times. He's only 19 years old in this game, playing every day in right field. And coming through, that is going to give them the lead as Calderon has himself an RBI triple. And we're down by a run with the lefty Tarver up. We're going to intentionally walk this clown. And to get to the light-hitting Barrett, who is batting .307. And what happened? Threw inside. Buzzed the tower. That was dumb. Okay, so 1-0 count, and now it's 3-1. Barrett pops it up on the infield. Brookins makes the play. So the Red Sox get a run on the board, and they're bringing in Eck. And Eckersley's got the save in yesterday's game. Steve Kemp will lead off the inning, and Eckersley, who never walks anybody, 94 control, walks Kemp. We're going to bring in a base runner for Kemp. Well, who do we have? We only have Gibby, but we want Gibby to bat. Shit, we don't have anybody. These guys are all slow of foot. So Kemp has got to do the best he can. We're going to hit and run, which is risky. It won't matter. That's Parrish couldn't put it on the ground. Hits a fly ball. We will be taking Bunnell out. And we're going to bring in Gibby. So runner on first. Gibby batting .320 overall against righties. And he's 1-for-1 against Eckersley. And Eckersley gets Gibby watching on the third strike. So it's going to come down to JT. We're staring another loss in the face. Thompson 1-for-3 against Eck. And he does manage a base hit into right field. And it's first and third. And like I've mentioned it before, the game loves to tickle your hiney. But they're really not interested in taking you home. So here's a sweet Lou. Ground ball to first. And that's the ball game. Man, the Tigers lose another one. We are under 500, folks. And that's really going to... we'll finish out until Cleveland is over. They're a last place team. And then we're going to start auctioning off some of our top players. So it might be... Unless you enjoy me being frustrated, you might want to stick around and see how that all plays out. As we take a look at the standings here, 6.5 back. I know that's not a lot, but keep in mind, we're only playing 110 games in this 1981 strike-shortened season. Boston, they've taken over first from Baltimore. That is impressive. And Seattle making a run, winning 5 in a row. For the hell of it, let's take a look at the National League. St. Louis, 1.5 games up on Montreal. Chicago, only 2 games back. Remember, they were the worst team in the National League last year. And Houston, making all those trades with Minnesota, looks like they are trying to win the division. 28-15 and 9-1 in their last 10. That is very impressive. Take a look at transactions. Any more trades by Minnesota today? No. No, there's not. That was from yesterday with Houston. And wow, Amos Otis has a fractured skull. Maybe he ran into someone at first base as well. Pull up the box score. We'll get out of here. Another frustrating loss. And I don't know what to say about it other than it feels like every decision I've made has not worked out, with the exception of Ricky Henderson, who at the very least has made the game fun. He got 3 walks today, but player of the game is going to go to Trammell. And he did hit the home run, had the 4 ribbies. The other run being scored on a wild pitch. He got himself a double, too, so well-deserved. Roger Weaver takes the loss. He's 2-1 now. And Bill Campbell, that guy is your lucky charm. He's 5-0. And Eckersley gets his 7th save. Gary Anderson, I hope he burns in a fire on the way home. So that's going to do it for today. We're going to come back tomorrow and see how this series plays out. So until then, everyone have a great night.